Relatively few people working now. They don't need all these chairs anymore.
This is the afternoon weather briefing. This is for Friday, the 6th of June. This is James Spann. Alabama's weather will be very active for the rest of this afternoon and part of the weekend. Let's go right to the radar. So we are live at 2:47 this afternoon. And again, you can see random, scattered showers and storms mainly across the northern half of Alabama. And some of those are strong. In fact, we have one warning in effect up in the Tennessee Valley. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of northern Lawrence, extreme northern Lawrence, extreme western Lauderdale, and parts of Limestone counties. And this is for the cluster of storms that's lined up from near Rogersville over to Athens, along and just north of US 72. And again, really, all of these storms are looking a lot like this, and the heavier storms in progress could produce some small hail and strong gusty winds. And remember, as we go through the weekend, we will have storms that might produce strong gusty winds and some hail. To be technically severe, the winds have to be 58 miles per hour or greater, or hail has to be 1 inch in diameter or larger. And these storms are flirting with those values today. So again, that's the one warning we have in effect. And the heavier storms are indeed across the Tennessee Valley. Got a pretty good cluster coming through the shoals now. Got the storms in progress around Anniston. Got a pretty good storm sitting in progress over the south part of Huntsville. And so again, that's the situation at 2:48. Let's go down to the south, and things are much calmer over South Alabama. You can see basically nothing to speak of over Mobile and Baldwin counties. The showers have moved over into the Florida Panhandle, and things look good on the Gulf Coast. And again, if you got a beach trip, you hear all this talk of storms, the weather looks pretty good down there for the weekend. And sure, they could see a shower from time to time, but the weekend for the Gulf Coast, not bad at all. This is southeast Alabama, and again, you can see a shower, pretty decent shower just south of downtown Dothan. Got a few showers in Geneva County, but really not much there. Most of the heavier storms this evening will stay across the northern half of the state, along and north of US 80 and Interstate 85. And today they're moving to the east. So again, between now and about 8, 9 o'clock tonight, just be aware that some of you will see a passing shower or storm. They could be strong, possibly severe in some cases, but a more organized batch will likely be moving through tomorrow afternoon. So here's the upper air look. And again, it's the classic battleground between the ridge over the Gulf and the southern extent of the mid-latitude westerlies down to the Tennessee Valley. And the visible satellite view. Again, for much of Alabama, the day is pretty nice, partly sunny. We've got those sea breeze showers over the Florida Panhandle and the heavier storms over the Tennessee Valley. This is the regional radar composite. So temperatures are on up there. We got a few spots at 90 today. See a bunch of 90s on the map. Winfield, Fayette, Pell City, Sylacauga, Centerville, Greensboro. Look at 92 at Utah and Demopolis. Montgomery coming in at 91. And for the weekend, we're expecting highs mostly in the 80s. We'll check the watch warning map. Now, north of the state, there's a tornado watch for parts of northern Middle Tennessee up into western Kentucky. No tornado threat down here. Again, the wind profiles don't favor that. A little better to the north, but again, down here, the main concern this evening, hail and strong gusty winds. So this is the severe weather outlook for the rest of this evening and tonight. We have a risk of severe storms from the plains of Colorado and New Mexico up to near Boston. And for Alabama, we have a level 2 out of 5 risk. Down into the central part of the state. This includes Greensboro and Clanton and Alexander City and points north. A level 1 out of 5 risk down to Grove Hill, Greenville, and Eufaula. And again, like we've talked about, storms not raining everywhere, but where the storms are in progress this evening, they'll be pretty strong. And remember, lightning is the big deal with most of these summer storms. When you hear thunder, get in. The rule is 8 miles, but you really don't need to worry about the 8-mile rule. Just when you hear thunder, go into a car, truck, house, something. Just get in. So tomorrow we have a broad risk running from West Texas to the Atlantic coast, and we note that SPC has introduced a level 3 out of 5 risk for parts of north central Alabama. And this would include places like Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, Cullman, Haleyville, Hamilton. And surrounding that, we have a level 2 out of 5 risk down to Greenville, Troy, Eufaula, and a level 1 out of 5 risk down to Interstate 10. This is the probabilistic outlook for damaging wind tomorrow. And by definition, that is 58 miles per hour or greater. And the probability of that in the enhanced risk, that level 3 out of 5 risk, the red on this map, is 30 to 44%, which is pretty meaningful. And there's evidence an organized batch of storms will be coming in from Mississippi, then rolling through tomorrow afternoon. And the main concern will be damaging straight line wind. So this is day 3, which is Sunday. Again, a broad risk from the plains of Colorado, New Mexico to the Atlantic coast. In Alabama, most of the state in a level 1 out of 5 risk on Sunday. And the storm Sunday, more scattered, certainly not raining all day. Some places could see no rain at all. But again, there could be a few strong storms involved. And why not? Let's keep going. Here's Monday. And again, a risk of severe storms defined for about the southern 2/3 of the state. That broader risk running from around Shreveport over to the Alabama-Georgia state line. And more on the weekend situation here in a second. This is rain for the next 7 days. And this is just an average. Remember, your number could vary because of the uneven distribution of rain with these scattered storms. But the rain amounts for most of the state in the 2 to 3 inch range for the northern 2/3 of the state. South Alabama, 1 to 2 inches. And quickly in the tropics, it's all quiet. Nothing going on at least for the next 7 days. So model fans, here we go. GFS, 12Z run, valid tomorrow at 4. Got a 591 upper high that's over the Gulf. The southern extent of the mid-latitude westerly winds are kind of draped across the Tennessee Valley. And we'll have thunderstorms about. So let's go to high-resolution modeling. And we're getting pretty good agreement in the high-resolution CAMs, the convective allowing models, showing an organized batch of storms coming through the northern half of the state tomorrow afternoon. This is 19Z. That would be 2 o'clock. And you can see the storms coming into the Shoals and Athens and approaching Moulton at 2 o'clock. And then by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, the storms coming through Birmingham and Anniston and rolling to the south and east. In fact, here's an animation of what the HUR is showing. Here comes that organized batch of storms. And then it shows a second batch of storms coming through tomorrow night. Late tomorrow night, really after midnight into very early Sunday morning. But with that afternoon batch of storms, in a situation like this on a hot summer day, you can easily have strong, potentially damaging straight-line winds. And again, we have a lot of folks that have outdoor events tomorrow. A lot of things are happening, so just understand that you really might want to pay attention to severe thunderstorm warnings, and that this type of severe thunderstorm mass can produce winds of 50, 60 miles per hour or even greater in spots. And that is enough to bring down trees and power lines and cause power outages. So looks like a very active afternoon. But again, it's not going to rain all day. The morning should be mostly dry. And then Sunday, we'll just have to see what the atmosphere is like after the Saturday round of storms. We'll have some showers and storms about, but I don't think it rains all day. And again, the sun should be out at times with highs in the 80s. And then for next week, we're just left in this pool of muggy air with a chance of scattered storms daily. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I promise the maps are different. They just kind of look the same. Each day, some sun, scattered storms mainly during the afternoon and evening hours. And a week from today, this is Friday, June 13th, we have, again, an upper high that's over Florida, little trough north and west of the state, and it's the same thing, spotty showers and storms around. Highs next week throughout the week should be in the 80s. We'll keep going. This is 10 days out, Monday, June 16th. Kind of got a 591 ridge stretched out across the deep south, a little weakness in the ridge around here, and again, that's classic June weather. Very warm, muggy, highs upper 80s, maybe a spotty storm around. Rain for Birmingham coming off the European ensemble. The mean is up there about 3 inches between now and the 20th of June. Temperatures coming off the national blend of models. Highs in the 80s, lows upper 60s, and low 70s for the next 10 days. And the latest long-range guidance just in for June 14th through June 20th. Temperatures a little above average. This all works out. So let's go back to the radar. And again, we're live here at 2:56, and we are watching your classic case of random, scattered showers and storms. For some of you, if you're underneath one of these things, it's pouring with thunder and lightning. For many of you, it's a sunny afternoon. We call it the afternoon thunderstorm lottery, and we will see this basically every day through June, July, August. And again, the stronger storms are up in the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama. And again, you can see the heavier storms are now a little east of the shoals. A pretty good thunderstorm complex sitting on top of Athens. And again, the Weather Service in Huntsville posted a severe thunderstorm warning for that when really all the storms pretty much are looking the same. They're going to produce winds at 35, 40 miles per hour, those wind gusts, and maybe a little small hail. Pretty good downpour sitting right on top of downtown Huntsville, back toward the Arsenal. Pretty good decent storms down the Highway 431 down toward New Hope and Owens Crossroads. Heavy rain falling down around the Tennessee River at Triana. And a pretty good cluster of storms northeast of Huntsville. Probably some small hail in this one right here that's southwest of High Top. And again, all of these thunderstorms are moving off to the east, and most of these today are driven by the daytime heating process. So once the sun goes down, these should weaken and slowly fade away, and I really don't think we have any overnight problems. The greater concern over the weekend, I think, is going to be tomorrow afternoon. I think the morning tomorrow dry. And again, if you're just joining us, our friends at SPC, they put up an enhanced risk over parts of north central Alabama for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, and that's for potential for an organized massive storms to kind of roll in this northwest flow aloft down through the zone there. And this is the probabilistic outlook for damaging straight-line wind. And again, you can see the chance of wind within 25 miles of any given point. Winds of 58 miles per hour or greater in that enhanced risk area are at 30 to 44%, which is pretty meaningful. So again, for those of you that have outdoor plans tomorrow afternoon over the northern half of the state, just be aware that there's a good chance an organized storm mass will be coming through with potential for very strong winds and maybe damaging winds. Understand with something like this, it could easily blow down some trees and power lines, which could mean some power outages. So it's going to be a very active afternoon tomorrow for the northern half of the state. And of course, we'll be around. We'll watch all of these things carefully. Back to the radar one more time, showing the heavier storms across the Tennessee Valley. And again, for the rest of the state, it's showers and storms are well below severe limits down to the south. These are just routine storms, but keep in mind, routine storms do produce a lot of lightning. And again, for South Alabama, things are pretty quiet. Once you get south of Montgomery and south of US 80, not too much happening down there. So that's it for the afternoon briefing today. Probably crank out one tomorrow morning if we keep that enhanced risk in place to kind of give you an early morning update. We'll do that tomorrow morning. Probably about 6 o'clock or so, 6 to 7 o'clock. And, of course, we'll be here in the event we have warnings, and I think we will tomorrow afternoon. And they should be all severe thunderstorm warnings with that chance of damaging wind. We do invite you to watch us on the television side this evening. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a marvelous weekend, and God bless.